Good afternoon. Appreciate everyone coming. We'll get started here with the coach. If you have any questions, raise your hand. And I think we'll get started on the left there, Isaiah.
Jim, you were on the radio last week and you said that you and the team spent months preparing for Ohio State. What does that entail? Like, what kind of preparation have you kind of been doing on a weekly basis for this game?
Keeping track of them. There's things we do in practice to prepare for them. We know Ohio State's our toughest competition. This will be our toughest test to date.
Larry?
Their running game, even, with a couple guys banged up, how key is that, both ways to establish the running game in terms of the winner?
I think it'd be important. Stopping the run, being able to run the ball, always key factors in a football game.
Right here, David.
Jim, with this being first game, telling the guys that haven't been in that environment of Ohio Stadium as they're preparing to go into that stadium to sweep.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. I'd be grateful for that experience.
On the left, Jimmy.
Jim, numbers say that they've improved as a run defense. When you watch them on film, what do you see there?
I see the defense is really good. 17 takeaways, 10 interceptions, six recovered fumbles, 16 forced fumbles, 3 defensive touchdowns. I think it's a very strong team defensively.
Jim, any update on like Donovan, Luke?
No.
Any of the guys?
No update.
Larry?
Jim, yesterday, as I'm sure you know, Blake Corum gave out a bunch of turkeys and milk. What does it say about him that he's doing that for a second time and probably doing a lot of other things when cameras aren't rolling?
He's amazing in all ways. He's larger than life personality, larger than life empathy. Everything he does, in quiet ways and in example ways, so many things that are tight. Why we're such a tight-knit football team.
Bob?
Jim, Ohio State made some changes in the offseason on defense and other things. Are they appreciably different in how they attack you, either offensively or defensively?
Yeah, I think they're a really good team, improved team. It's a tremendous team, and we're very grateful to be in this position, to be playing in this game. Winner takes the East. Winner takes all right there. So strong opponent, and it's the kind of situation that gives you the opportunity to display how strong our team is. There's no need to hate. Be grateful for the opponent. It's like superheroes. It's through a strong opponent that you get to find out who you are. They have a lot of players that are really good. They got great players. We got great players. They have great coaches. We have great coaches. They have players with Heisman habits. We have players with Heisman habits, and congratulations. Be grateful for having the opportunity to play in this kind of big game.
On the left, Clay?
This series has been kind of cyclical, big domination by Michigan, Ohio State turns the tide, et cetera. What did last year's win do for you or the program?
It's where we're at. It's where we're at now. And like I just said, that's, those are my thoughts on it. It's just a real honor. It's a real honor to be in this position, to be able to test yourself, physically, mentally, emotionally. We know it's our toughest test of the year. And I think I think we're going to find that we're made of the right stuff.
All right, Pat.
Jim, you said you were gonna take about 6 hours Saturday before you got down to thinking about Ohio State. What time did you actually get down to it? Did you watch film right away, or what was the process for the rest of the weekend?
It was actually just a couple hours, actually, not even because by the time I got home, I was watching the Ohio State Maryland game, and already, so the mind switched over pretty quick.
On the left, Austin.
Jim, for a quarterback making his first start in this game, what do you tell JJ?
Have at it. That is pretty cool. Coming off of the game he had, fourth quarter comeback, win in the last minute, game-winning drive. That doesn't happen to quarterbacks, that often, and to be in that situation, first time and win it. He's got it. Talk about turning water to wine. I think I made that comment back in the summer that he had that ability. See him shouldn't have dropped the snap, but drops the snap, goes down on a knee, has a presence before he touched the ball to lift his knee off the ground, pick it up, get out of the pocket, pick up a critical first down. He's got it, and I'm so glad that he's on our team, and he's fiercely protective of the team. He's a tremendous teammate, but he's got that grit and determination too. That all into one package. He's a tremendous mix of Jim and Megan McCarthy. A mix of each.
On the right, Andrew.
First of all, how
So
are you?
that's what I tell him. I don't need to tell him anything more than that. Just go have at it.
First of all, how are you feeling? Sound maybe.
Yeah, good. Thanks. Yeah.
You said this is the toughest test.
Little hoarse. I was still a little hoarse from Saturday. Did a lot of stuff.
With this being the toughest test of the season, as far as the 11 tests you've had to date,
Yeah.
is there anything you're still, I guess, unsure of or curious to see how your team will handle against the best opponent to date?
Oh yeah, I'm always searching to understand just exactly where we're at and where our opponent is, and been spending the better part of yesterday and today, doing that through watching on the tape too, but also I spent part of my morning talking to some of the parents on our team, and that was super enlightening. But as I said, I think you're going to find that we're made of the right stuff.
On the right, Mike.
After exploring the NFL and signing the contract extension this offseason, how pleased are you that you're in this position? And in retrospect, maybe, did you think about this, could be something that you may miss by going to, the NFL again?
How I feel right now about the season? I can answer that question. I don't want to write your whole article for you here, but how I feel is what I said. It's so pleased with this team. I just want to congratulate them for putting them in the position, for them putting themselves in the position that they're in. And it's just a tremendous honor to be able to go play against this kind of opponent, with these kind of circumstances, in that kind of setting, at Ohio Stadium, with the championship of the Big East, or of the East side of the Big Ten Conference at stake. To be tested, that way is just something that it's an honor, and we're super excited about it.
Zach.
Jim, you mentioned the past couple weeks your players are on a happy mission. How important is that joy and gusto in a week like this where the pressure and the stakes are about as high as they can get?
Yeah, I didn't call them happy warriors. It's, as I said, there's no need to hate, or anxiety, or or anger or anything that it's, it's about, being grateful for, and it is Thanksgiving week, grateful for this opportunity, these circumstances, grateful to be tested against this opponent at this time.
In the middle of the camera.
Jim, you had some very complimentary things to say about your upcoming opponent. Coming out of the game last year in the media, there were a lot of comments that called into question their toughness. In reviewing Ohio State, do you see a tougher team?
I didn't. That wasn't me.
But coming out of Ann Arbor, there were some comments out there. Do you see a team that's tough?
Yes. I mean, absolutely. This is I think you got two teams that are, it's like two superheroes going at each other. And that's why that's what we're so excited about, being tested, find out, what we're made of.
In the right, Angelique.
Jim, you mentioned the right stuff a few times. What is the right stuff, and why are you sure you have it?
Got a great group of players who are happy warriors, and they're on a happy mission. And it's a tight-knit team that has paid the price. They've taken on every challenge to this date, and they've attacked it. Been ready to play every single game for 60 minutes, and I love this team. I think they're made of the right stuff.
On the left, Clay.
Coach, there's always talk that goes back and forth between, both sides. Ryan Day supposedly saying that you're going to hang 100. Your comment last year about being on third base, thinking you hit a triple. Is that good-hearted rivalry talk?
I guess. Kind of irrelevant is what I think. I think it's irrelevant. Yeah.
On the left, Michael.
Jim, with the experience that Blake and Luke have, and to a lesser extent Donovan, would you feel comfortable playing them if they can't practice this week?
No, I mean their practices. If they can't practice, they can't play in the game.
Got time for a few more with Coach. Start with Larry.
With CJ Stroud and Marvin Harrison Jr., what in particular makes each of them tough to stop? Yeah, let's spell that.
Yeah, they're. I talked about players that have Heisman habits. They have players that have Heisman habits. We have players that have Heisman habits. No question, C.J. Stroud and Marvin Harrison Jr. have Heisman habits. Tremendous players.
Middle camera.
Jim, you've obviously not only coached in this game, you've played in the game. What do you remember from the 1986 game, going down there, winning in Columbus, and then what can you take from your experience as a player to maybe share with JJ and the rest of the team, just having that experience as a player, not just a coach?
Yeah, really. At this point, the things I'll share with JJ is just go have at it, and that's what I'm gonna tell all our players. I mean, it's an honor. It's tremendous. Congratulations. Put yourselves in this position. You paid the price. You've done the work. Not gonna let it rip. Have at it.
Back left, Aaron.
Jim, given what's at stake, potential return to the Big Ten championship playoff on the line, what's the message to the team trying to balance what's in front of you, what's Saturday?
Yeah, do everything in our preparation to get ready for this game. It's all about this game. It's all about going 1-0 this week.
Last question, Bob.
Jim, 11-0 versus 11-0 doesn't happen very often. Is there any danger in it making it too big for your players and being overwhelmed by the talk and everything that's at stake? Is that any danger at all?
Yeah, when you have 11-0 and both teams are 11-0, and I know our 11-0 really doesn't mean anything now. It's all about going 1-0.
All right. Thanks, guys. Have a couple players out here shortly.
Generally, at least in the group stage, once it gets to like.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't bet.
All right, we're ready to get going with tackle Ryan Hayes. You have a question for Ryan? Get my attention. Try and keep it orderly here. Starting on the left side, John, go ahead.
Ryan, a big part of last year was your ability to do all you did in the ground game. How crucial in your mind is that to going down there and being successful?
Well, I think in a game like this, I think that's winning the line of scrimmage, winning the rushing totals is a huge factor in the game. So I think it's going to be very important for us to control the line of scrimmage.
Sir, on the corner.
So last year, Harbaugh just said that Ohio State looks tougher than this year. How do you guys gauge that? What's your standard for that? And do they look tougher?
I would agree with that statement. I mean, they got the new defensive coordinator. We watch them on film every week, a few plays, and I think they're just really flying to the ball. They're playing together this year, and they definitely look a lot better.
In the back corner there.
Harbaugh said that there's no hate this year when it comes to the rivalry. He said you guys are just honored to be playing in this game and to have this opportunity. Do you take a different approach as a player? I mean, is there a little bit more bad blood for you guys?
No, I agree with what Coach said. I think both 11-0. The season's been building this point, and it's just win or go home at this point. So all we're trying to do is win.
Front left, Isaiah.
Jim had said that on the radio, you guys have been kind of preparing for Ohio State for months now.
Yeah.
What does that look like for you guys preparing for them?
Well, I think every day since January on, we always have them in the back of our mind. Everything we're doing is about them. It's about winning this game at the end of the season. So I think it just starts from January on. Always have them in the back of our heads. Do periods with them. We watch their film pretty much weekly. So it just starts with that.
Ryan on your right, Nick.
Kind of bouncing off that a bit. This week specifically, how do you prepare for Ohio State's defensive line / someone like JD Tuimoloau?
Yeah, I mean, it's probably definitely the best front seven we've played up until this point. I think they're really good players, and I don't know, we prepare the same every week. Obviously, this week means a lot, but we're going to do the same things we've done all season.
In the back left, Aaron.
Ryan, what are you expecting going down there to Columbus on Saturday in terms of the atmosphere and the scene?
Yeah, I mean, most of the players on this team haven't been there because obviously last time was COVID year and we weren't able to go. So it was just, I mean, obviously I've heard stories. I think I'm expecting a loud, crazy environment. And we played in those games before here, so I think we'll be prepared.
Back to the gentleman up front.
You guys keep saying that you respect them, and it's extra and more anger there. You shouldn't. I mean, it's a rivalry. If they're going to bring an extra edge, shouldn't you guys try to match that?
I mean, we're going to come prepared. Nobody wants to lose this game. I think we're going to have all the motivation we need. I think everyone's going to bring their best game. So I'm not worried about that at all.
On the far left there.
Yeah, Jim talked about being grateful, I guess. I mean, how much did you get the sense that, after you looked at the NFL, came back and signed the contract extension, that gratitude was evident, I guess, over the course of the season as you guys won 11 games?
Yeah, I mean, we are all really happy to be here. I think we wanted to, we planned on it, and we got here. So we're feeling good, but obviously we know this game. If we don't win this game, the season really doesn't mean that much. So if we don't win this game, we're not probably going to be too happy. So.
Time for a few more for Ryan, on the right side, Mr. Zook.
Known Blake Corum for most of the second half last week.
Mm-hmm.
How much of an impact do you think that had on the offense?
Well, I think obviously has an impact. He's probably one of the best, if not the best player in the country. Losing Blake is huge for us, but I think we had a lot of guys step up, we rallied around, and we ended up finding a way to win, which is great for us.
The left side, Austin.
I was going to ask about Blake too,
Mhm.
not knowing what his status is going to be this week. What gives you confidence that this offense can move the ball in other ways if you need?
Well, I think we've planned on this. He's a great player, but I think everybody else is just going to step up with him out, and I think that we're up to the challenge, and we'll do that.
Okay, back to the right side there, Angelique.
Ryan, Jim was talking about JJ making his first start at Ohio Stadium.
Mhm.
What can you say about how his demeanor on the field? What's he like when he's leading you guys?
He's an extremely calm player. He doesn't get too high, doesn't get too low. I always try to talk to him during the game, but I don't think he really needs anyone talking to him. I think he just has that about him. Some people have that, and he has it.
Jim likened him to Bjorn Borg. Did any of you know who that was?
I still don't know. So, I'm not sure.
On the left side, Zach.
Jim called you guys happy warriors, kind of with the joy you guys have. How important is that in a game like this where the pressure and stakes are high, and is it hard to keep the happy going?
Well, I'm sure it's not going to be. We're not going to be that happy on. Well, we're going to be happy on Saturday, but it's all about business, all about winning that game. It's like I said before, if we don't win this game, what does the season really mean?
Just a couple more for Ryan back in front.
They like to sling it. They played a lot,
Mhm.
50, every other week.
Yeah.
You guys sort of take the opposite end of that. You like to, go ground game first. How comfortable do you feel with a game script where maybe JJ does have to throw it 40 or 50 times?
We have complete confidence in that room, or the quarterback room and the wide receiver room. I know if we need to, we're going to be able to protect. He's going to be able to throw that around. We have complete confidence in JJ and the receivers and the tight ends.
There's a few more for Ryan. The far back on the left, Michael.
Ryan, part of the run pass balance this year is because of what you guys have been able to do in the trenches, and part of it is Blake in the backs as well. If Blake was compromised or unable to go, how much do you think the run pass balance would shift?
I don't think we're going to change our identity this game just because obviously Blake's a huge part of our offense, huge part of our team, but I think our identity stays the same.
Anything final for Mr. Hayes? Okay, we're going to keep it moving. Thank you all for your time. Appreciate it. Be back in just a moment. All right, thanks for sticking with us. We're going to keep things rolling here with defensive lineman Mazi Smith. If you got a question, go ahead and get my attention, and we can get things started. From the left side, John.
Honestly, in a game like this against a really good opponent, how much does the defense take on itself to say, hey, we want to dig in and be the ones to be the difference makers?
I mean, we just know what it takes. You know, I think no matter the game, we want to play our best game. You know, we striving for greatness every play, every game. It got to show up in practice first. And I just think that throughout the week, everybody knows how serious we got to take it. Everybody knows that we got to prepare the right way if we want to go out there and play the right way. And so one thing I kind of try and tell certain people when they ask, it's like you just don't ever want to be the reason. You want to make sure you hold up your end of the bargain and make sure the people next to you holding up theirs. And if everybody does that, we'll come out, happy with what we did.
On the right side, about halfway back, Brian.
Mazi, how would you describe the current state of the rivalry at this point?
Coming off of our first win last year, it's competitive. We know that, they got every motivation to come in and put what we did to rest. And we got every intention and motivation to come out and keep the road going. So.
Back to the left side there, Zach.
What's the key in this game to not playing too tight when the stakes and the pressure are as high as they are?
Understanding that there's no moment too big. If you're here playing in this game, you're supposed to be here. You done put the work in, and the people around you trust you. Everybody got to know that. And I think everybody does.
Front left corner.
Ryan was saying, talking about how much confidence he has in JJ. If it ends up being a game you guys have to throw the ball a little bit more, seeing him in practice, what does he do in those settings that gives you that confidence?
It's QB1. He can threaten you in any which way. He can throw the deep ball. He can throw a quick, efficient ball. He can win with his feet. He can do everything. And that's what we've been seeing. So, yeah.
Standing in the back corner, sir.
Coach Harbaugh said this game is like two superheroes going at each other. It's that kind of battle. You might not really know where you stand until you meet somebody of that caliber. Is that how you look at Ohio State yourselves, that, okay, it's time to find out who we really are against an opponent that's kind of our caliber?
Yeah, I mean, you play everything. You give everything to get to this point, 11-0. And we got a week to give everything we got to come out and be 12-0, go 1-0 this week. And this is the type of game you really get up for. This is the type of game you come to Michigan to play. And this is the type of position that you come to any star, big program to be in, And I think everybody know that.
In the back on the left, Aaron.
Mazi, what have you been told or expected about playing in the environment Saturday down in Columbus?
I haven't told anything. We know they get pretty live over there. I done been there before in recruiting, and I've seen how they get. I'm just excited to be in another hostile environment.
Staying on the left side, Anthony.
What can you learn from those hostile environments like Iowa, or the night game you played at Rutgers a couple weeks ago? What can you draw from those previous experiences?
Being calm and collected in the face of adversity, and sticking to the plan, and understanding that, you can take control. You got to just come in, control the controllables every time you can, and can't let nothing really get to you,
Front right here, Larry.
What makes CJ Stroud so good, and what were you able to do last year as a unit to slow him down?
Very efficient passer. Makes great connections with his receivers. They got great threats over there. Front got to play great. And that would be in any big-time game like this. Football is one in the trenches anyway, but these type of games, really get decided there. And it's evident more so to whether you know football or don't. You know where the game getting won.
In the back right, Angelique.
Mazi, Ryan Hayes said since January, you guys have been thinking about Ohio State. They've been in your head since then. How does that manifest? Like, are they? Are you talking about them? Are you practicing for them every day? How does that work?
It's kind of the player's job to stay where they feet at. Kind of the coach's job to think ahead. I think the coaches put little things around the building or put little things in our head, plant seeds, letting us know what we're really preparing for. But they also always tell us to be right where our feet at and make sure we're handling business right now, because if we don't handle that business right now, we won't be able to later.
Thanks. Quick second question. I know you've talked about Olu before, but when you look now at all these games this season, how much has he upgraded the offensive line? What has he brought to that group?
I knew what he was going to bring. He just a heavier anchor, leader of that O-line, bring everybody together, keep everybody on the same page, fit right in. As soon as he got here, he fit right in. I'm a Michigan man, from Virginia. And they've been playing lights out over there for Blake. So.
Okay, just a couple more from Mazi here, back to the left in the front.
Mazi, a couple guys come up here and said Ohio State looks tougher this year. From your perspective, when you're watching film, how do you evaluate toughness? What do you look for?
Well, I'm just looking at the O-line. I'm looking at how they pass block and how they run block. I'm looking if they get movement or don't. I'm looking if they get stopped or don't. I'm looking at perimeter plays. I'm looking at downhill plays. I'm looking at what type of pass plays they're running. And it's actually pretty hard to get a good beat on who somebody is through tape. You got to go out there, play the first 3 downs, either get a 3 and out or let them get an earn first, see what it go. We'll see what it turns into from there.
So what's that feeling out process like? I don't know how long it takes, a couple drives or whatever.
Well, I just take about 2-3 plays. Or for me personally, if I'm putting my hands on somebody and they going backwards, we'll be all right.
All right, 1 or 2 more. On the far left there, Rainer.
You guys have defended 59 plays per game. How much is the offense being able to control the ball and limit the possessions of the opponent contributed to the defensive success this year?
It's great when you can really count on the other side of the ball to control the game, not turn the ball over, do everything they're supposed to do. I think that it's important to also say that however the offense needs our support, we're going to support them, and however we need theirs, they do it for us too. So we just been taking care of each other all year. Been playing complimentary football and really playing together as a team.
And how essential do you think that'll be, particularly in this game?
It's everything. That's another thing, I talk about the game being won in the trenches. Whoever can play the game on their own terms is who's going to win. That's usually how it shakes out in these type of games.
On the right side here, Andrew in the back.
Back to the superhero thing. I don't know if you're a comic book guy, but if you were, who would you assign Michigan and Ohio State?
Yeah, I like Batman. We Batman. They could be Iron Man or something. They cool too, They got some gadgets and stuff up their sleeve for sure. So.
All right, we'll finish in the back left, sir.
You guys talk about this all year long. What's it like been having the win for the past year?
We looking to get another year, another win. It's important. It was cool, but this is a different team doing different things. Can't focus on the past. Can't win this game looking back. So it's really that's really for the fans, really for the people who didn't play here. So.
Okay, thank you all for your time. Appreciate it. Keep Mazi moving.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Good. All right, next up, we've got Mr. Mike Sainristil. We've got a question for Mikey. Please get my attention. And whenever folks are settled, we can get things started. We'll begin this time on the right side. We got Brandon and then Larry.
Not to put too much pressure on you, but in a game like this, you end up being one of the more important defensive players because the offense they run. How do you approach that this week with the pressure being so high and you individually facing their their talent?
Just doing the little things in practice, fundamentally, technically, and really locking into who they are, what they do, who each receiver is individually, what their strengths and weaknesses are, and just making sure that I know to capitalize on what it is they don't like doing and making sure I'm locked in on what they like doing the most.
Right here, Larry.
With Marvin Harrison Jr. in particular, what do you see as his strengths?
Contested catches. He's strong, has very strong hands. He runs routes really well. Good speed. He's just an all-around really good receiver. Could be a Heisman type of receiver. But we also have really good DBs here. So, we're looking forward to the challenge.
Far left, Rainer.
And Jim's talked about being grateful, for everything that's happened this season. How much have you sensed that from him, that gratitude, I guess, throughout the season, the way you guys have performed?
Coach is just very appreciative of all the opportunities. He's appreciative of his players, what we do for him. We're all very appreciative of what he does for us. And it started, this offseason, just, everyone just buying into the program, rebuying in, recommitting to, what Coach does for us and just believing in each other, believing in him.
And the right side, Brian.
How would you describe the current state of this rivalry?
The current state of this rivalry? In terms of what?
It's up to you.
It's currently the most important thing in the world to me, I would say.
And to the front left.
Mazi was saying that the coaches are planting seeds, reminders about, this game. You guys been preparing them bits and pieces throughout the year. What's an example of that? What's the seed that they planted in you guys early in the year?
Period of Ohio State focused on practice, film, every here and there, just, film study on them.
What did you guys learn during those periods?
The Beat Ohio period is, I'm pretty sure you guys were introduced to that last year by Coach. We still do that. And then just film on them, just who they are. They're good in the run game this year. So we're also getting the run defense. But it's just going to be two good teams going at it.
Further up the left side, Zach.
On Saturday in the second half, Illinois scored a couple touchdown drives, took a fourth quarter lead, and then the defense pitched a shutout in the fourth quarter. What do you think the defense learned maybe in its first true, have to have it test?
I would just say we came out that game knowing that, we're not perfect, of course. There's definitely things we can fix. We gave up a lot more rush yards than we wanted to. We didn't get as many sacks as we've been getting. So, there's definitely things to clean up, especially going into this game, against an opponent like Ohio State. But, we understand that we have to be on our, not on our toes, but we have to be playing our best ball this weekend in order to, come have the outcome we want.
On the right side here, Brandon.
Ohio State's running backs are a little banged up. How much does that have a freshman step up this past week? How much does that matter throughout the course of the week when you're prepping for them that you might not know, who's back there, how much, and how effective?
It shouldn't matter at all. We're ready for whoever it is they have at running back. Because at the end of the day, their running back doesn't determine how we play. And that's just the mentality.
Back to the front left.
Brian was saying that even if JJ's thrown it 40 times yet this year. Possibly that happens on Saturday because Ohio State can score pretty quickly. What gives you confidence from what you've seen JJ in practice that he can handle himself in that situation?
After Saturday, I called him the Miracle Boy, just because he goes out there and makes it happen, and that's just who he is. Extending plays if he has to, or just getting the ball to receivers now, picking up fumbles, rolling out, and still completing a pass, or getting a sack, throwing it up to a running back, and completing it. That's just who he is and what he does.
We've got time for a few more in the back left there, Aaron, and then Zach.
Mike, did the win over Ohio State last year, that changed the team's confidence level going into the game this year?
No, I wouldn't say so. Just because no one on the team right now is harping on what we did last year, because we know last year's team isn't this year's team, and what worked for us last year isn't the same thing working for us now. So yeah, we just we're just focused on Team 143 and what we can do to win this game.
Further up on the left, Zach.
When the stakes are as high as they are for this game and the pressure's that high, what's the right mindset to have as a team so you're not maybe too tight or overthinking?
I think the first thing is understanding that, we don't want to sit there and tell ourselves that there is pressure. Just continue being ourselves. There's nothing that other than, what the film going and correcting film is what needs to be changed. But as each player individually, we just need to understand that. Just lock in. We know who we're playing, but don't, walk around during the week being tense just because we're playing a much bigger opponent. Just be yourself, be who you are. What you've been doing is what's been helping you. Don't change that for nobody.
Anything final for Mike? Angelique?
Mike, could you put your receiver glasses on for a second? And when you're watching practice, how far are JJ and receivers on hitting those deep passes, and what's missing in your opinion?
They hit them in practice. They're on point in practice. They've hit a few on me a couple times, but I don't think they're far. It's just little things, I would say. Whether it's routes need to be ran faster or timing, and I don't know. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but I know for a fact this week it'll be on point. And I'm not gonna say I hope. I just know it's gonna be on point this week.
Who is beating you in practice?
Ronnie's got me before, Roman, and Jarrell got me this past week. So, but those are great receivers we go against every day, and they're the ones that's gonna help us get prepared for this weekend. So.
Okay, last question for Mike.
Why do you think that disconnect exists? Why are they hitting them in practice and not in the games?
I'm not saying it's really a disconnect. I'm just saying it's not like it doesn't happen. It's not like they're not on the same page. It's just, catches need to be made. Not every pass is a perfect pass, but, sometimes receivers bail out the quarterbacks. Quarterbacks can help put receivers in good position. So it'll be cleaned up.
Okay, thank you all for your time. Appreciate it. I think we're good to go. We ran a little long, so meetings begin in about 4 minutes. So I do not think we're going to have time to bring Jalen Harrell out here. So thank you for being with us, but that's going to conclude things for player availability today. Yeah. I got a couple minutes.